Somewhere in Russia right now, there's a radio station broadcasting a single, monotonous buzz, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's this ghost-like sound from the Cold War that has just never stopped. So what is it for? And maybe more importantly, why is it suddenly more active than it's ever been? Well, let's tune in and try to figure this out. You see, for decades, that monotonous buzz is pretty much all you'd hear. But then, every once in a while, the buzz stops, and a live voice comes on, reading a cryptic message, just like this one. It's just a string of letters, numbers, and really strange code words. This, right here, is the central mystery of the station that people call the buzzer. So, what in the world is going on here? Is this some forgotten relic? A doomsday device straight out of a movie? Or is it something else entirely? Today, we're going to try to peel back all those layers of static and see if we can get to the truth. To really understand what's happening with the station now, we've got to go back to the beginning, back to the sound that has been baffling listeners for well over 40 years. Okay, so this is the buzzer. Radio enthusiasts know it by its original call sign, UVB76. It broadcasts on a shortwave frequency, which is pretty cool because it means this strange signal can literally be heard all around the globe. And the craziest part, its true purpose has never, ever been officially confirmed by the Russian government. And here's where it gets really weird. I mean, the details are just bizarre. It's been running nonstop since the Cold War, but that buzzing noise, it's not a recording. People listening in have actually heard shuffling noises, distant conversations, things that suggest it's a live, open microphone in an active room somewhere. Spooky, right? But the real clues about what the station is for, they're not in the buzzing itself. No, they're in those rare moments when the buzzing cuts out and actual human voices suddenly emerge from all that static. These interruptions don't happen often, but they're exactly what this global community of listeners is waiting for. A live human voice, almost always a man, speaking in Russian. The messages are always short, they follow a specific format, and they're completely unintelligible to anyone on the outside. And believe me, this isn't some new thing. The very first voice message was logged way, way back in 1997. Over the years, the call signs have changed, the messages have evolved, and sometimes they appear right before major world events. Like the word unstoppable being broadcast just before the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. Yeah, that connection to military action has fueled decades of speculation, and it's led to one particularly terrifying theory. And this is it, the dead hand theory. The idea is that the constant buzzing is like a heartbeat signal. So if Russia's leadership were ever taken out in a nuclear first strike, the signal would stop, and that silence would automatically trigger an all-out retaliatory nuclear launch. It is the ultimate doomsday device. But is it real? Well, as terrifying as that sounds, the answer is almost certainly no, and this slide really shows you why. The theory says if the signal stops, the world ends, but the reality is the station has gone down for maintenance and had technical glitches many times over the years, and guess what? No nuclear apocalypse. So the crucial point is that super sensational dead hand theory, it's pretty much busted. So if it's not a doomsday trigger, then what is it? Well, this chart breaks down the most likely theories floating around among the experts. And while things like atmospheric research are, a slim possibility, the overwhelming consensus, we're talking 60%, points to one thing: encrypted military orders. And that, right there, brings us to the modern understanding of the buzzer. It's not a doomsday machine, but it's something almost as fascinating. It's a real-time indicator of military activity and global tension. So the leading theory is that this is actually a pretty simple but really robust one-way channel to send coded messages to military units, specifically across Russia's huge Western military district. The shortwave signal can reach everywhere at once, and only the units who have the right code books can figure out what the messages actually mean. This quote just nails it. It really gets to the heart of what the station has become. By tracking the number of voice messages, you can almost see the station's pulse quicken during times of international crisis. It's like a geopolitical barometer. And you can see that pulse right here in the data. Just look at the correlation. There was a big spike in messages during the 2014 annexation of Crimea. Then another massive spike right before the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. It seems the station isn't predicting these events. It's part of the military machine that's carrying them out. And that activity is only ramping up. In December of 2024, the buzzer actually set a new record, broadcasting 24 distinct messages in a single day. I mean, that is a totally unprecedented level of activity, and it signals a very high state of military readiness.
We can also see the station is still alive and kicking through its changing call signs. It started out as UVB-76, then it shifted to MDZhB, and now it uses a bunch of others like ANVF and NZHTI. This isn't some forgotten system collecting dust. It's an active, evolving part of a much larger communications network.
So why should we care about some old, crackly radio station today? Well, because it's becoming crystal clear that this Cold War relic has found a new and very serious purpose here in the 21st century. This is the key takeaway, really. Far from being obsolete, the buzzer is now an active instrument of Russian military power. It's being used for command and control, and more recently for sending some pretty chilling new signals. For a truly chilling example, just take a look at this message from October 2025. The code word broadcast was Orhibrus, which translates to nutcracker. Analysts immediately flagged a potential and very scary link to Russia's new Oreshnik hypersonic missile, a major strategic weapon. The message was unmistakable. So today, the station seems to serve three main functions. First, it's still sending military orders, but it's also being used for psychological warfare, using its creepy reputation to create unease. And with Russian state media now openly talking about their doomsday radio, it's become a tool for nuclear saber-rattling. And that really is the heart of the matter. This strange sound from the past is not fading away. In a world of cyber warfare and satellites, this incredibly simple, old-school technology has become a surprisingly relevant and powerful tool in a time of rising global tension. Which leaves us with one final and pretty unsettling question. As the world grows more and more unstable and the messages on frequency 4625 kilohertz become more frequent, we have to wonder, what message is the buzzer going to send next? And will we be able to understand what it means before it's too late?